Hello everyone, this is Getsilius, and I'm here with another game review for you guys. And this time, I'll be reviewing Sam & Max: The Devil Playhouse. If you guys know, I'm a huge fan of point click adventure games, and this was up my alley for a while now. I have played all of the remastered Sam & Max games done by Skunkape Games, or calling them by their real name, Skunkape Games. As we gotta call them by their proper name now, so it's Skunkape. So it's really fun. But I want to also give a shout out to Skunkape for providing us a review access to play the game, and I want to give you guys more details about Sam & Max if you haven't seen it already. So, Sam & Max: The Devil Playhouse is the third and final season of the classic Sam Max 3D series from the Telltale games. This game came around, I want to say, April to like the end of summer 2010, and this was the last game that Telltale has ever made that was in a classic point and click style. Now, the thing of what makes these games interesting is that, wait, you're saying you're saying from April to like late August the game came out? Yes, because it was the first time that they managed to sell games. Oh, they also did this before with Monkey Island, but they were selling games as episodes, piece by piece, piecemeal, which are really, really, like, it became kind of a model how we see DLC content done these days. But, a little history lesson as well. So, why did I want to review this game? Again, as I mentioned, a huge point-click adventure fan. I've loved Sam & Max since my youth. I think I'm more in love with the 3D series and the 2D games. Though Hit the Road has bazillion mini games I would love to play. I just enjoy the Telltale, I call it the trilogy of it. From Save the World to Beyond Time and Space to The Devil's Playhouse. So, once again, thanks to Skunkape or Skunkape Games for providing us review access, and I'll get on into it. So, as we know, what is this game about? It's essentially about our freelance detectives, our anthropomorphic Sam, our gumshoe detective, and our I wouldn't say allegedly war criminal, all hail President, Lord, Savior of the Seven Dimensions, Max. To solving crime and doing things in a wacky, cartoony way. I mean, it's just a very beautiful universe of what it does. So, I want to talk about this game in various ways. So, let's break it down into things that matters for this. Let's talk about the graphics and aesthetics. Now, graphically and aesthetically, this game is a remaster of the original game with many improvements to it. So, step out the way. Graphically, I had the originals because I actually have them. I purchased them when they were available on Steam. They were named as like episode 301, 30, whatever, because that's what it was called back then, right? I have those, and I had a chance to replay them and look back to the current format. And when I look at the current format, I'm like, this looks way cleaner, more brighter. It looks the original looks like it looked very shiny because in the 2010s. Like, graphically back then, games were just shiny, man. It's like all new, but this game looks, the shading is properly done. It looks way more properly. You can see everything. I didn't have to dub down the brightness to play it, so I give it tons of credit for it. And aesthetically, it still maintains that cartoony 3D kind of feel that I expect for Sam & Max. Sam & Max, for all intents and purposes, had a cartoon show, so it kind of maintained that Saturday morning AM vibe, as well as this quirky and weird aesthetic that's going on. So overall, graphically, I give it a 5. It's just beautiful graphically done. It is chef's kiss. I can't say any more about it. So the next thing I want to talk about is a big thing, is the audio and sound effects. How does it sound? How does it work? How does everything go? Musically, remastered wise, it sounds a bit similar to the old one. They made some touch-ups, but I'm not a music guy to know about it. But it sounds, it sounds exactly what I expected. The voice acting is excellent. I remember, as I've known correctly, I can be corrected, you guys in the comments below, you guys correct me, but I'm well aware that the actor who played Bosco is no longer with us. So they had someone to replace Bosco to do their voice, and I was unable to tell that much of a difference. So I think that really, really cool, and that was really well done. So the voice direction of the game, as well as how it sounds, is really good, and I give it a solid take of it. Now, I'm unaware of any like musical. Obviously, my personal favorite. There are musical notes in the game. Every 3D Sam & Max has a musical number in it. I deeply enjoy that. It's probably one of my favorite parts of playing their games. You know, the 3D era Sam & Max. So I love it because of that. So overall, I give the music's audio sound effects a solid 4. It's just rolling on by. It's great. It's fantastic. It sounds good. Is it an improvement to the original? A little bit, especially in the voice actor column. But for music-wise, I'm unable to tell that much. I'm not that much of an audiophile, so you may excuse me on that. So that's about it. But we gotta talk about the meat and potatoes, the big selling point, the gameplay. So the gameplay for Sam & Max is a standard point-and-click adventure game. Now, the remastered games have done a really good job of having pad support. I also had a chance to play this on my Steam Deck and didn't have run much problems on it, so it plays pretty well. You essentially point and click your objects, you interact with them, that's how they work. Now, they also have several new mechanics in this game. A little spoiler, Max developed some powers. I'm gonna tell you how it works. You know, you may be seeing it on the screen right now and vibing. Max has some new powers, but I'm not, you know, explaining it for you, and you could use it to solve more puzzles. Now, what makes Sam & Max gameplay, at least the episodic nature, a little interesting, is that they do a really, really good job of having a variety of puzzles as they do it. The puzzles in Sam & Max The Devil Playhouse isn't as I'd like to call moon logic or insanely difficult as I compared it to, I would say, the second season of Beyond Space and Time. Beyond Space and Time was, I consider, one of the hardest Sam & Max to play because of moon logic. If you haven't heard of moon logic or cartoon logic, is a term that is used within the point-and-click space, or I personally use as well, that describes a game that uses outside thinking that doesn't seem logical to solve a puzzle. And that could be frustrating for people who are fans of the game, of the point-and-click genre, and those who are new to it. Luckily, Sam & Max, the third, Devil's Playhouse doesn't have a lot of moon logic. And even if you're somehow stuck with it, the game has a hint icon in the menu where you can up the amount of hints you'll need. They'll give you periodically, so if you need more hints, they'll just give it to you. Back in the original games, it would happen seldomly, so sometimes Max or Sam will say a joke that will lead into a hint. This time you can adjust it yourself, but personally, as having memories of finally playing, I was able to play it and figure it out. Control scheme works well on pad, as well on controller pad and on mouse and keyboard, which really enhances the gameplay. 5 stars, it's really fantastic. Overall, the quirkiness of the game, even the cartoon logic of the game works well because you are essentially in a cartoon-esque universe. It does mesh together, make you think to fit in the world it does. So overall, I gotta give the gameplay a 5 out of 5. There are a lot of point-and-click games out there, and very few of them makes it seamless at what it does. It controls good. The puzzles aren't that difficult to a certain degree. The game has an in-game menu that helps you play it, as well as it's kind of fun solving it, and interacting with the player, the characters getting hints is funny. It's just the way the game tells you it's fantastic. So I deeply love it all because of it, and because of that, I want to give my personal final score of the game. What do I think about Sam & Max Beyond Time and Space? I think Skunkape, he doesn't call it as Skunkape. I know I keep saying it because I love calling them that. I wonder if anyone else calls them that as well. Let me know if any developers or people who work on Skunkape, you guys call their real name or the other name. Seriously, I would love to know. So overall, they did an excellent job of remastering this game. It maintains its elements of being an excellent adventure of the Sam & Max trilogy, which in my mind, Sam & Max, the third trilogy, is the best of it. It is, to me, quintessential to the point-and-click genre of how innovative it was, the storytelling did. It had elements of great deconstruction, gags, wonder, jokes, the whole 9 yards. Overall, this game is a 5. It's a 5. It is a 5 out of 5. It is just perfect. And for anyone getting it now, I really have to say, just get it now. If you're watching this The game will be released on August 14, 2024. If it's Please get it now. I recommend this over getting the other seasons of Sam & Max. I highly recommend it over those other seasons. I think this is a quintessential of the point and click space. You don't I know there is backtracking you have to understand, such as the ending to The Devil's Playhouse. Not spoiling it for anybody. I know this game is roughly a decade plus old. I'm still not gonna give the spoilers to you, okay? It's that cool. You should try it. There is a little history of understanding how the ending works. You play Beyond Space and Time, and there's tons and tons of references to Sam & Max Save the World. But this is such a jam-packed, excellent adventure within its own paradigm, within its own shifting. It's perfect. I recommend for those who are new to the point-and-click space to try it out, and for those who are veterans of this game space to give it a try. This does an excellent job. These people have been doing banger after banger after banger, remastering the Sam & Max games, from its audio, graphically, and everything in between. I am hoping forward that this is successful for them in the future, and maybe they get to remaster some other games. Maybe they get to remaster the LucasArts version of the game, but it was hit the road. Maybe they have some new IPs in their pocket. But this, to me, is quintessentially one of the best versions and best way to play. I would consider the best adventures of Sam & Max ever created. So, yes, Sam & Max, The Devil's Playhouse, is a classic from its original format to its remaster, and I recommend the remaster. This game has not missed a beat. It has been updated to modern audiences. I feel like it's just good. And with that out the way, thank you guys so much for listening to me ramble and talk about one of my favorites, and if not the best point-and-click adventure game that came out, for my opinion, of the classic Telltale games before they made the Walking Dead formula, I would say. And this is Sam & Max The Devil's Playhouse is an homage to what I love about this genre, what is fun about it, what gets me back into it, what makes me still hopeful that indie developers in this space, such as, Wadget Eye Games, Francisco Gonzalez from Gunny Sloth Games, Lightfoot Bros, and many other developers I can mention on the top of my head right now, why I look forward to their projects, because games like this exist that makes you go, you know what? Maybe you guys have some new story way to tell me. There's something new you can do. So, if you're diving in for point-and-click adventure games the first time, or if this is, you've been playing them your whole life, you have to get this remaster. This is something that you can cherish and understand why, at one point, this genre was beloved and has such a cult following. So, without the way, thank you guys so much for coming out and checking my video and appreciating my takes of Sam & Max, The Devil's Playhouse. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell as well. You'll be notified next time I go live with content. Follow me on Twitter at Getsilius. You can catch me streaming here live on YouTube or at twitch.tv Getsilius. It's pretty much it, and I'm gonna say it again. This game is a 5 out of 5. Get it now. Get it now. Get it now while you can. It's good. Get it. August 14th, 2024, you're going to love this game. I guarantee it. It's going to be fun. It's funny. It has all the things you enjoy about it. And Skunkape Games, or Skunkape, has done a banger job to bring this game to a new generation of people to enjoy. And I hope that people would play it and look at it, because there's so many cool ideas and interesting mechanics in The Devil's Playhouse, all the entire season of it, that I think that we'll love to see again in future point-and-click games. So without the way, thank you guys so much once again for doing it. Thank you, Skunkape Games. Skunk Games for giving us review access to the game. And this is Getsilius signing off. And I'll see you guys hopefully in the future. Later, everyone.